I will fix government.
Nasusundan na ng armed forces ang mga bandido sa Patikul.
Change the picture.
I sense a problem deeper and more serious than any of those mentioned or all of them put together.
Nagdeklara si Pangulong Duterte ng state of lawless violence sa buong bansa kasunod ng pagsabog sa Rojas Night Market sa Davao City.
To make the people's lives better, safer, and healthier.
Since President Duterte's inauguration in Malacanang, he has launched a national campaign against the illegal drug trade that the government has been dealing for a long time in the Philippines. The so-called ongoing drug war of the Duterte's administration against the drug dealers in the Philippines has already reached the attention of the international community and has received compliments and praises for eradicating crime and illegal drugs in the country. President Duterte tried organizing peace panel from the government to conduct peace talks with Abu Sayyaf group to hold negotiations for the safe retrieval of the hostages held captive by the Abu Sayyaf. The Abu Sayyaf group was known to be the culprits behind extortions, kidnappings, and other acts of terror in the western part of Mindanao. This terrorist group has been camping in the islands of Sulu and Basilan in Mindanao.
It will be harsh that might just a campaign go out and destroy them. So patay kung ano yan, huwag na kayo magtanong mga human rights.
But President Duterte was infuriated and declared an all-out war against the bandit group. Over 10,000 soldiers and military assets were sent to the islands of Basilan and Sulu to execute the orders of President Duterte to crush and pulverize the terrorist group. On September 2, 2016, at around 10:20 in the evening, a loud explosion shook Davao City. An improvised explosive device exploded at massage area of the Rojas Night Market, killing 14 people and leaving 70 wounded. Local authorities later found out in their investigation that 2 mortar shells were used for the explosion, a 60mm and an 81mm shell. Filipinos all around the country shared their sympathy with the victims of the bomb blast and to all the Davaoeños for the unfortunate event that occurred in the city. President Duterte, who happened to be in Davao City at that time, went to the explosion site just a few hours after the incident to check how bad the situation was. He then declared a state of lawless violence wherein the Philippine National Police and the armed forces of the Philippines will work together in enforcing the law and maintaining peace and order given the current situation in which the country was facing. So what is the state of lawless violence really all about?
Mga tao magduha-duha sila paghimo og dili maayo.
Wala kayo thank you yan.
Wa jud ko kabaloan na. Wala po may nakasabot ko.
Matay dong judge bang ko pero wala gyud ko makasabot ni ana.
A state of lawless violence or a state of lawlessness is simply a declaration by the President as Commander-in-Chief of the present status or condition of the country. It is granted to him as inherent in his capacity as the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. It's coupled with this authority under the Administrative Code of the Philippines to declare a state of condition.
After President Duterte's declaration of state of lawless violence as the commander-in-chief of the country's military force called out to the AFP to aid and provide support in ensuring peace and stability, the Davao City Police Office is currently investigating the recent bombing incident in Rojas Night Market.
So, right after the night market explosion, the City Director, Police Superintendent Dubria, have directed all the station commanders to implement the stricter and more thorough checkpoints, especially on the exit points and entrance points of the Davao City. And then the declaration of the full alert status was implemented.
Although they already have released a composite facial sketch of the bomber, the perpetrators and their motives behind the incident remains confidential since the investigation is still ongoing and will yet be released by the Davao Police.
The President cannot perform or command anything that is beyond the Constitution. It's just that he is calling out the armed forces to help out in the efforts of the Philippine National Police.
Although the declaration of state of lawlessness and martial law are the same in the way that the President, being the head of the state, calls on the military to help in law enforcement, they are different in the sense that the writ of habeas corpus isn't suspended, and that is still the police who is in charge in enforcing the law despite the presence of military forces.
During the time of Marcos, there was an abuse of the Commander-in-Chief powers because of the suspension of the privilege of the writ of habeas corpus and martial law. It is different before because that was a declaration, but this time it's not martial law or it is not a suspension of the privilege of the writ of habeas corpus.
Overall, the public should not be scared with the declaration of the President of the state of lawlessness. The President's only goal in declaring such order and calling out to the AFP and other security forces of the state is only just a security measure to counter lawless violence in the country, to enforce the law, and to protect the peace and stability of the homeland.